Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, Yevamos Kuftes. We begin on the Mishnah, Kuf Ches Amud Beis, right at the last line. Hamegarish es ha'isha ve'chazira. This fellow was married to an Isha, Reuven and Rachel, divorces her and remarries her. And then he passes away. Muteras liyava. She's fully eligible for Yibum. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, he says no. She cannot have Yibum. Now, what is the chiddush of the Mishnah? Why would I think it's a problem? So Rashi points this out. He says, look, Reuven was married to Rachel, divorced her. At that point, she becomes his gerusha, right? Which makes her asur on his brother Shimon. One may not marry his brother's former wife, his brother's divorcee. It's an eshazach. Now, he retakes her. Reuven remarries Rachel and then passes away. Now she's a Yevamos. But keep in mind, she has a history. She had already become asur on Shimon on account of being Reuven's wife, Reuven's divorcee. Perhaps that would stick, that would stay. No. The chiddush here is, fact is, he retook her, he remarried her. Now he passed away. She is treated like a regular Yevamos, an Eishes Ach with no children, who goes to Yibum. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. He says, no Yibum in this case, and the Gemara will explain the reason for this. Now in this case, Reuven had been married to Rachel minat Torah. He's a gadol, she's a gdola, married once, divorced, married again. So both marriages were minat Torah. Tanakama says now she's perfectly fine for Yibum. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. The same thing would apply when Rachel was a ketana and Reuven married her midrabanan, divorced her, retook her, and passed away. So both marriages, first and second, were only midrabanan. Yibum is fully activated. V'cheina megarish asa yisoima. So Reuven was married to Yisoima, married her midrabanan, divorced her, v'hechazira, retook her. Muteras liyavam, he passed away, she can go liyibum. For Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, once again, he does not allow it. Here we have a third case where all will agree that it's a problem. Ketana sheisia avia. A father married off his young daughter. That marriage is minat Torah. A father has the ability to do this. So the ketana Rachel is married to Reuven minat Torah. V'nis garsha, and she got divorced. Ki yisoima b'chayehav. She's like an orphan. Even though her father was around. It's during her father's lifetime because she left his domain, she left his rishus once she got married. She's no longer under his jurisdiction. Which means he cannot marry her off any longer. Ve'chazira, now Reuven remarried her. Being that she's a ketana, without her father having any say in this matter, this marriage is only midrabanan. So first marriage was minat Torah, she got divorced. She's a gerusha of Reuven. So Shimon looks at her like, oh, you're my brother's divorcee. Married minat Torah, divorced minat Torah. Now v'yachzira, Reuven retakes her. This time it's only midrabanan, and he passes away. Divrei Akal all agree in this case, asur liyavam, she can't go to the yavam because marriage number 2 was only midrabanan. It can't really undo, it can't override the fact that she's a gerusha of Reuven from the marriage which was minat Torah, the first marriage. This halacha is l'kuli alma. Amar Eifa, Eifa the name of a chacham, Rashi says. My time with Rabbi Yehuda, why does Rabbi Yehuda not allow Yibum in the first 2 instances? Answer is because the second Reuven divorces, she becomes a gerusha of Reuven, which makes her asur to Shimon, and that status sticks. So even though Reuven retakes her, remarries her, and then passes away, now she's trying to be a Yevamos to Shimon. No, he remembers the fact that she was once a gerusha of Reuven, his brother, in which case that isur remains. Amar le Rabbanan le'ifa. If that's the case, so according to Rabbi Yehuda, she's an erva upon Shimon, and no Yibum or chalitza would be an option. So you'll tell me, okay, that's true. Vatanya, the Brisa says, Meshumar Beleza Amru. What happens to this Isha Chaylet says? She does have chalitza. She's an erva to Shimon. Why chalitza? Ela Mar Efa. I'll tell you, Rabbi Lezer. Lo yadana my time. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not sure why Rabbi Lezer disagrees with Tanakama. I can't work it out. Amar Abaye, I'll tell you. Hi, no Rabbi Lezer. Because he's unsure how to deal with this case. Shall we say that Reuven's death, that triggers, that activates the Yibum. That brings about the Yibum. In which case, she's a regular Yevamos, despite the fact that she had already been previously married to him during that first time around, after which she was divorced. We ignore that because the Misa, the current situation right now, it nullifies everything else. She becomes a regular Yevamos. We ignore the past. In which case, she can have Yibum. That's one side of the coin. That's one option, one proposal. Or you can say, or perhaps it's the first, it's the marriage, way back when, that triggers the Yibum. Basically, when Reuven remarried Rachel, within that marriage, there's sort of a clause which says, upon termination of this marriage by way of death without children, Yibum will be the next step. This will produce Yibum. And in this case, it's a problem. Let's see. If we say Misa, the most recent event, the Misa of Reuven, is what triggers Yibum, Harami Kamel Yibum. So she's not presenting for Yibum to Shimon. Despite the fact that she was once already married and divorced, we ignore that. Or, but if you say it's the marriage which generates the future Yibum, the fact is, when Reuven remarried Rachel, right, when he took her the second time around, that marriage is what sows the seeds. It lays the groundwork for that future Yibum. And at that very point, she was already usher to Shimon, because remember, she had been married to Reuven previously. She was a grusha to Reuven, grusha's achiv of Shimon, which makes her an erva. So the second marriage cannot generate a potential Yibum. She's an erva at that point of marriage. So Rabbi is unsure. How do we treat this situation? Do we say the Misa creates the Yibum, in which case she's okay, or should we say the marriage creates the Yibum? At the point of marriage, she was already also to Shimon as a grusha of Reuven, as an erva, in which case Yibum is not an option at the end of this forthcoming marriage. And therefore, due to the suffix, Rabbi Lezer says, you know what? No Yibum. But we do chalitza on account of this suffix. So this is who? This is Abaye's pshat. Rav Amar, I'll tell you a different pshat. Lo'elam pshita l'Rabbi Lezer d'misam apelas. You know what? It's death, it's misa, which triggers the Yibum. So really, minat Torah, Rachel can be misiyabim to Shimon, no problem. There's a gzera d'Rabbanan. We're concerned about confusion, but nevertheless, hakol bekin b'kerushin. People are fully familiar with the fact that they got divorced. Everybody knows, talk of the town. But not necessarily does everybody realize that he retook, that he remarried her. And now that she's presenting to Shimon as Yevamos, they'll say, oh, what do you mean? She's a grusha of Reuven. They won't realize that Reuven remarried her. The Rabbi, just the opposite. Chazara, when you retake a wife, given the yasva to say, since she's living with him, it's like kola, that's commonly known. Everybody knows that. Look, they're married. What do you mean they won't realize she remarried? This is the Gemara. Not always. Merely Askinan could not be speaking about the case where the Ahadru B'urta, he took her back at night. The V'shachar B'tzafar, come morning he passed away. It was a short-lived marriage. Everybody remembers she was divorced from him, but not necessarily do they realize that she had remarried, and therefore concerned about this impression, creating the notion that you can do Yibum to the grusha of your brother, and we don't allow it. Of course, it's only the Rabbanan, therefore, although we don't allow Yibum, but Chalitza is still an option. Rav Ashi Yomar, I'll give you another reason. Mid Rabbanan, Hainu Taima de Reb Lezer. The reason is as follows. If we take a look back at the Mishnah, we'll see three cases. In case number one, Reuven and Rachel were adults. He married Rachel, divorced, and retook her. So first and second marriages were both on the same level, both of equal value, both deraisa. So we could say, look, the second marriage and the subsequent misa creates the Chiyav Yibum, despite the fact that she was already a grusha from the first marriage. In the second case, we have a gadol marrying a ketana, with the rabbanon. Married her once, married her again. Then there was a yibum circumstance. We say, okay, let's focus on the most recent event, the misa, at the conclusion of the second marriage, because here again, first and second marriages were of the same value, both midrabanan. But in the third case, all agree it's a problem. Look, she was married midat Torah first time around. She got divorced. She's a real grusha midat Torah. Now he retook her only midrabanan. All agree in this case. You cannot do yibum because midat Torah, second marriage is worthless, is meaningless. Midat Torah, she's a grusha. That's all. And therefore, Shimon cannot marry Grusha of Reuven. Says Rav Ashi, that is exactly why Rabbi Lazar doesn't allow Yibum in the first two cases as well, because we're concerned if we allow there, it might lead to the third case as well. People won't differentiate, they'll confuse things, and one thing might lead to the next. Rav Ashi Yomah time with Rabbi Lazar, the Gazar Hani, he applies Gzera to the first two cases, concerned about that third case, where Reuven had been married to Rachel, minat Torah, and then divorced her, in which case she becomes like a Yisayma. During her father's lifetime, she left his jurisdiction, she's out of his domain, and even if he retakes her, it's only midrabanan. That marriage, which is midrabanan, cannot override the fact that she was a grusha minat Torah. It seems indeed that this is the real reason for Rabbi Lazar. Take a look at the Mishnah. What's the last case of the Mishnah? This very case. A father married off the Ketana, minat Torah. But this guy, she got divorced from Reuven. She is treated ki yisoyma b'chayehav, right? Reuven retakes her, and then he passes away. In this case, divrei akol, all agree, she'asura le'yavam, she can't marry the yavam, because, as we explained, she's considered a grusha of Reuven. And the fact that he remarries her midrabanan, that doesn't override and nullify that grusha status. So that's the Mishnah. Now, why would the Mishnah have to go into this self-evident halacha? It's so pashut. Pshita, of course, it's a problem. Apparently, the Mishnah is trying to send us a message and explain to us. You know why. In the first two cases, Rabbi Elazar does not allow Yibam. The Gazar Hanach Misham Hai is concerned by those cases on account of this case. Shemamina, indeed, it's pretty clear. This is the reason for Belezazis. Because why otherwise, why would the Mishnah have to go into this last case, which is such a pashut case? Chiddush is, this is Rabbi Lezer's reason, concerned about running into this type of case, and that's why in all those cases as well, where the first two marriages were of equal value and perhaps can nullify each other, can override each other. The Misa will override the fact that she was a grusha, yes, but with geyser on account of this case. Tanya Kava said Rav Ashi. We have a raya to Rav Ashi from our brisa that indeed this is the basis for Rabbi Lezer's gzera. Moedim chachamim Rabbi Lezer. Even the chachamim who allow yibum in the first two cases in the Mishnah, they agree to Rabbi Lezer in this last case. Biktana she'esiya avia v'nisgarsha hariki yisayim b'chayah v'echzira she'asura liyavam, and the brisa explains. Mipnei, you know why? Mipnei she'girusha girushin gemurim. Her divorce the first time around was a proper divorce, terminating a do'iraisa marriage. But ve'ein chazarasa chazara gemur. But that return, that remarriage, wasn't the proper remarriage. It was only midrabanan, and that can't undo the effect of the first gerushin. B'ameh devarim amurim. When does this apply? Shegirsha kishiktanom. That is only when he divorced her when she was a ktana. Right after father marrying her off, he divorced her. He took her back when she was still a ktana, and the second time around, it's only considered a marriage midrabanan because father is not part of the equation anymore. Right? So the Isha is still called a grusha of Ruvain min HaTorah, and therefore there's no yibum in this case. Aval girusha k'shei ktana. Well, let's say he divorced when she was a ktana. Fine, so she's considered a grusha min HaTorah. But then he took her back. He waited until she was a gdoila and then took her back. So now marriage number 2 was a valid marriage min HaTorah. Inami, or he took her back when she was still ktana. So for the time being, it's midrabanan, but he waited. Godla etzle. She grew up with him, right? And since she grew up by him, she became a gdoila. Now the marriage gets upgraded, right? Is considered a proper marriage min HaTorah. So now he passed away. Umeis. Why? Because now she's a Yevamos min HaTorah. We ignore the fact that she was previously divorced. Right now she's an Ishas Ach, She'en Labanim, a Yevama. She goes to Yibam. Mishum Rabbi Lezer Amru. Oh, Rabbi Lezer disagrees. Chayletzes, Yevamos. Even in this case, only Chalitza is an option. And it's pretty clear from the Bryce. Look, the Bryce starts off with that case which all agree is a problem. Right? Chacham agreed to Rabbi Lezer, that's a problem. Apparently Rabbi Lezer was occupied with that case. He was busy with that case. And that in fact was the basis for Rabbi Lezer's entire shita. And that was the reason for his concern in the other cases as well. It might lead to that case. So in fact this is the writer of Ashi's approach. That is the Tam of Rabbi Lezer. Here comes a shaila. So we know that according to Rabbi Lezer, this Isha who had previous Gerushin experiences cannot have Yibam. Okay, what about Sarasa? The other wife, part of that household, the other Yevama. What happens to her? Sarasa Mahu. What happens to her? Amalei. So he said, look, Higu for Gzera. The whole reason why we don't do Yibam to the Isha herself is only Gzera, as we explained, concerns, confusion. It's only the Rabbanon. Vanan, Nekav, Venigzer, Gzera, we'll get up and apply a double Gzera. The Ikar Yevam is only with the Rabbanon. You're going to say that Tzara is Asr as well? Because if you do Yivam to the Tzara, you might do Yivam to her. That's a double Gzera. We never do double Gzeras. Asks the Gemara, really? For Tanya, Mishur Blazer Amru, Blazer says like this: that the Ikar Yevam and the Tzara only gets Chalitza. Apparently, you cannot do Yivam to the Tzara. So it sounds like we do apply the concern to the Tzara as well. 1 second, says the Gemara. The wording in the Bryce is unclear. You mean to say she and the Tzara go to Chalitza? We never do that double Chalitza in the same household. So apparently you have to rework the Bryce. Elolav, apparently the Bryce is saying like this. Either the Yevama or the Tzara gets Chalitza. But bottom line is, Yibam is not an option. Neither to the Yevama nor to the Tzara. Says the Gemara, 1 second. Lav tirutza kamatartis. Aren't you, in any case, modifying the Brisa, right? You're compelled to modify. So modify in a way that makes more sense. Taritzachi. Why can't we suggest as follows? The Brisa is saying like this: He chayletzes. The Ikar Yevama does chalitza because Rabbi Lezer doesn't allow Yibam. But the Gzera only applies to the Yevama herself. The Tzara is unaffected. Tzara oy chayletzes oy misyabemes. Tzara is free to have chalitza or Yibam, as we explained, because the Gzera never spills over to the Tzara. Tzara can have Yibam. So bottom line is, the Mishnah discussed the case of Machsa Gerusha. So we have 3 cases where the first and second marriage were min HaTorah, first and second marriage were midrabanan. In both these cases, the Shittas Chachamim is Yibam is perfectly a perfect option. Rabbi Lezer disagrees. He says no Yibam in this case. We had 3 ways to explain Rabbi Lezer. All agree that if marriage number 1 was min HaTorah, she got divorced, and then he took her back midrabanan. All agree in this case, brother cannot do Yibam. She's considered the grusha of Reuven. Now, according to Rabbi Lezer, is the Tzara affected? The Gemara assumes not. Continues the Mishnah. Shnei Achim, you have 2 brothers, Reuven and Shimon. Nesun l'shtei achoyim is married to 2 sisters. Ketanais, both of them are minors. Reuven to Rachel, Shimon to Leah. Rachel and Leah Ktanis. Married only midrabanan. Umeis bala shel echas men. Ruvain passes away. Shimon is the Yavam. Problem is, Rachel is my wife's sister. Hala zotetze, mishum achos isha, is no yibum. Achos isha has no yibum. V'cheishtei chereshes. Same if they're deaf mute, in which case the marriage is only midrabanan. So both noshim were married in the same way. No marriage stands higher than the other. They're both of equal value, in which case, look, this is my wife's sister, she's an erva. No yibum. What about if it's gedola uktana? Oh. So Reuben was married to Rachel, who was a ktana. Only midrabana. Shimon was married to Leah, who was a gedola, married minat Torah. Meiz bala shel ktana. Reuben, the husband of Rachel, a ktana, passes away. And now Rachel presents herself for Yibum to Shimon, who's married to Leah, her sister. Problem is, Rachel is achos isha. Not only that, Shimon's marriage to Leah is superior, because that's a real marriage minat Torah. So what's the halacha? Teitze haktana mishum achos isha. Rachel has no Yibum. She leaves the scene. She is my wife's sister. But Meiz bala shel gdola. Now we're in trouble. Shimon, who was married to Leah the Gdola, he passed away. And Reuven, who's married to Rachel the Ktana, is faced with Leah the Yevama. Problem is, Leah the Yevama happens to be Reuven's wife's Rachel's sister. Problem is, Reuven and Rachel don't really have a proper marriage minat Torah. So really, the Yibum, which is minat Torah, should sort of interfere with his marriage to Rachel. So what happens now? Leah is bound to Reuven minat Torah. There's that zika. She's bound to him. Right? And Reuven and Rachel don't really have a proper solidified relationship. It's only midrabanan. We have three shittas. Rabbi Lezer Omer, melamdin is aktana shetamayin boy. We turn to Rachel and we say, you know what? We have some other ideas for you. Do me and we'll find you another match. So once she leaves the scene, Rachel is no longer connected to Reuven. Reuven is free to be miyabim Leah. She's no longer his wife's sister. Right? Rebbe Gamliel Omer, no, we don't do that. We don't encourage miyun. If Rachel chooses to walk away, to reject Reuven on her own, gesundheit, that would address the problem. That's a good solution. But otherwise, we don't push her out. Rather, tamten ashid tagdil. Leah waits until Rachel grows up, and now her marriage with Reuven becomes solidified and upgraded, becomes minat Torah. Now Leah leaves the scene. She's rejected because she is now the sister of Rachel, who is Reuven's proper wife. Shita number 3 is Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, he suffers on both sides. Woe unto him on account of his own wife, who he loses. He has to send Rachel away because she is the sister of his Yevama Leah. The zika of Leah interferes with his marriage to Rachel. Nor can he interact with Leah, because she appears like the sister of his wife. He has to issue a get to his wife, Rachel. Nor can he actually marry Leah, because she's been labeled and tagged Achos Ishtoi. At most, he can do a chalitza. So back to Rabbi Lezer, who says, easy solution. Have Rachel leave the scene, do miyun, and free Reuven for Yibum with Leah. Umi shari. Is that permissible? We encourage chalitza. We orchestrate miyun. That's something that we do. There are 3 things that a person should pursue, and flee. Distance yourself from 3 things. Which are the good things? Look to do chalitza as opposed to yibum. Pursue peace. Try to undo nadarim. It's not a good thing to have nadarim. So these are 3 positives. And keep away from the following 3 things. Don't orchestrate miyun. You never know what might happen. She might change her mind down the road. Try to keep away from miyun. Umin apikdoines, don't take deposits. Umin aravoines, don't offer your services as a guarantor. Bottom line is, we don't encourage miyun. Answers the Gemara, miyun the mitzvah shani. Here it's different. The miyun isn't just an end on its own. It's a means to enable yibum. That's okay. Gufa, let's go back. Tani bar kapara. Lo'ilam yidbak adam shleisha dvarim. Pursue the following three things. Firstly, b'chalitza. Try to do chalitza. Why? Kabashol. Tesane b'shol aimer. Hakoi neses eventoi l'shem noi. You have to be careful when you're doing yibum. Really? She's an ervan, eshes sach. Torah allows it for yibum. You have to have the proper intention. You have to be motivated by mitzvah. Whereas if a person does it l'shem noi, for aesthetics, for beauty, l'shem ishus, just to be married, l'shem davar acher, or any other motive, it's as though he's getting involved with an erva v'karev be'enai lias havlad mamzer. I treat it like almost a mamzer. You have to be careful to do it l'shem shemayim. Therefore, ideally avoid yivum. Just do chalitz. Number 2 on the list was try to be a peacemaker. Bava shalom d'chsiv bakesh shalom v'ratfei. And look how great it is. You can benefit, you can have schar in this world and the next. Vama Rabbi Avo, Aser Radifa. We learn Exer Shava with the words Radifa. Ksiv Hacha Baki Shalom Virat Feu. So we have the Lashon Radifa by Shalom. Ksiv Hasam, we have a pasuk in Mishlei which reads Roidef Tzedakah V'Chesed. Again, we have the Lashon Roidef. What happens there? He benefits on all sides. In Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. Yimtza Chaim B'Tzedakah. He will earn Chaim and Tzedakah. Rashi says that's describing the schar in the world to come. V'chavod, and honor, Rashi says, b'olam hazeh as well. So we see, Hava Shalom is a good thing. Thirdly, Ba'faras Nedarim. Look to nullify Nedarim. Don't hold on to your vows. Why? Rabbi Nassan, the Sani, Rabbi Nassan Omer, Hanoider. You know, there's a big enough Torah, many restrictions and Isurim. Torah says, the Gemara says, Hashem says, Loi dayach. Is it not sufficient? Is it not enough to you? Masha asra Torah, all the restrictions and limitations of the Torah. We have a huge Torah, a lot of things to do. You don't have to add. You don't have to just do what you're supposed to do properly. You'll have your hands full. Don't create a sort of alternate way of serving Hashem. Hadnoider. When one makes a neder, kilo bana bama. We treat it as though he built this alternate altar, unacceptable mizbeach. You're making your own religion. And in fact, if he actually carries through the neder, that's even worse. As though he took a carbon and put it on that bum of his. Don't create your own concepts. Just follow the rules. So, neder is not something you're meant to hold on to. Okay, keep away from the following three things. Try not to orchestrate a miyun. Why? Dilma Gadla. Fine, today she walked away, but perhaps she'll grow up and she'll have remarried, and then she'll say, oh my, what happened to my first husband? Mechrataba. She'll regret that she had left that first husband. So don't get involved in miyun. It's not a healthy thing. Number 2, try to avoid taking deposits. In which type of case? Bibar Masa, from your landsman, your fellow villager. Did say ki say dummy, because his house and yours are the same, meaning he knows the ins and outs of your home. Today he gives you a deposit. Tomorrow he comes and slides it away without you realizing it. And it comes back the next day. Where's my deposit? So you're getting someone into trouble. Don't allow that to happen. Minay Ravain. Don't offer your arev guarantor services. What type of arev? Ba'arve shalatzian. Rashi says shalatzian is a joint word. It's a nutricon. Shleif dutz. Shalef means you sort of slip out. And doitz is you stick yourself in. He says that there's a type of arrangement where the lender, typically the lender would go to the borrower first, and if he can't work it out, he'll go to the Arv who guaranteed that loan. But an Arv shleif doitz shaltzian, he steps in as sort of number one. I'm there in any case, so it makes it easier for the Malva just to approach the Arv first without any need to go to the Leiva first. That's pretty dangerous because you're setting yourself up for all types of claims. Don't do that. The Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Ma'idach, what does the pasuk in Mishlei mean when it says Ra Yeroya Ki Orav Zor, and then it finishes by saying V'soine Soikim Beiteach? What does this mean? Ra Achar Ra Tavoy LeMekabel Gerim. Taking Gerim to Klal Yisrael is Ra Achar Ra. There's much room for difficulty and trouble, and Rashi says many times they're not well versed in the halachos. Interesting, there's a Tosfos elsewhere that brings from Rabbi Avram Hager, who explained the Gemara as follows. He says, sometimes it's just the opposite. A ger will be so serious and a man of integrity and be medactic in mitzvahs. It's so fresh and so exciting, and it can even become a limud chayva. It can reflect perhaps badly on other Yidden who are not so meticulous and careful. So that's why it's actually sometimes a negative development. Accepting ger isn't necessarily so commendable. So that's one idea here. The pasuk says Ra Yeroya Orav Zor, meaning there's Ra when you mix in a Zor, when you take in a foreigner, and there's another pshat to this pasuk Ki Orav Zor, which sounds like it's speaking about the Arev, the guarantor that you just mentioned. This fellow who accepts upon himself Arevus, a commitment that's over his head. That's number two. And thirdly, the pasuk is referring to this fellow who's tekeya. What does tekeya mean? Lo tekeya atzmil dvar halacha. Sort of stubbornly sticks to his position when it comes to halacha. Well, what's going on here? So the Gemara explains all three things. Mekabel gerim. Why do we view that as a negative thing? Rab Chelboy, Koshem gerim liYisrael. Gerim can be difficult for Klal Yisrael, kesapachas bo'er, like the sapach, like a nega, which is featured on one's skin. The lashon sapachas, Rashi says it is an ispechu, an auxiliary, supplemental, something which attaches itself, referring to the concept of a ger embedding himself in Klal Yisrael. Arvei shal tzion, what's that referring to? The type of arev that we referred to before, the avdei shleif doitz, who present themselves and commit themselves in this type of arrangement called shleif doitz, as we explained earlier. The arev allowing himself to be sort of claimant number one, which the malva can come and claim from right away. Tekei atzmon dvar halacha, what's that? The Sanya, Rabbi Yossi Eimer. Kol ha'omer ein lo Torah. If one says, look, I have no Torah. I'm not interested in learning Torah. What happens? Ein lo Torah. In fact, he doesn't get schar for learning. Pshita, well, obviously. Ella, rather, he meant like this. Kol ha'omer ein lo ella Torah. If a person declares, he says, look, I'm just going to learn. I'm not going to actually fulfill the mitzvahs. Learning is enough for me. Ein lo ella Torah. You know what happens? You only get schar for learning and nothing more. Hanami pshita, well, obviously. Ella, rather, we meant like this. If one is not fully committed to fulfilling the Torah, you know what happens with his learning? It's worthless. Ella da'afilu Torah ein lo. Even schar for learning he won't have. Why not? What's the point of learning? My time. You know why? Amar papa makra ulamanta masisa. Learning is to bring to asiya. Kol sheyeshni be'asiya yeshna be'lamida. If one is committed to actually keeping the words of Torah that he learns, then it's a true reflection of his seriousness, of his commitment to Torah, and he gets schar for Torah learning as well. But if he's uninterested in actually adhering to the lessons that he learned, he will not get schar for learning as well. Let's go back to the first pshat. If one says, look, I'm only going to have Torah, I'm not going to be Makayim, then he only gets schar for the learning and nothing more. Well, Kasha was, obviously, he's not doing more than Torah. Like Tzricha, the Chiddush is like this. Speaking about a fellow who spreads Torah to others, and his Talmidim, will indeed carry out those words. Does that reflect on him? Does that get credited to his account as well? No. Like Tzricha, the Chiddush is the Kamagmar Lachrin, this fellow gets up and teaches others. So he himself doesn't necessarily live a Torah lifestyle, but he's going to influence others to, yes, live a Torah lifestyle. Does he get credited or not? Va'azli v'avdi, and those fellows go ahead and adhere to a Torah lifestyle. Perhaps I would say, Isli Agra Lididei, this fellow himself, the teacher, will get some schar kamashlan. No. If you practice what you preach, fine. But otherwise, you're disconnected from your lessons, you don't get credited. Even if you're a Talmidim, do better than you do. Another pshat. We spoke about Tekei Asma Dvar Halacha. What is that referring to? Tekei Asma Dvar Halacha means b'dayana. He's a judge, a dayan in a bezdin. The Osi Din L'Kamei. He's presented with a din Torah. V'Gomar Halacha. This fellow actually, is more or less well versed in matters of halacha. But this particular, case he had never really experienced. So what does he do? Umedami milsa milsa. In his mind, he'll conjure all kinds of, imaginative connections and rayes. He'll compare one thing to the other, and he'll come to conclusion, even though he's not really fully confident in his ability to paskin. But he says, look, I happen to know A and B, so let's just assume C is the same thing. V'islei Rab, so if there's nobody around, fine, there's no brera. But if he has a Rebbe in town, he has a Rav. V'islei Rab, Mashal, he doesn't go to the kollel and the yeshiva to ask the shaila. He just relies on his own abilities. That's problematic. So a person can never be overconfident in his abilities, especially pertaining to Torah and to Allah. The Amar Bishmuel Bar Nachmeni, Amar B'Yenis. La'olam, at all times, Yire Dayan Atzmai, a judge, a dayan in a bezdin, should view his situation precariously. As though there's a sword between his thighs. And there's a Gehenna right below him. One slip and he's in there. There's always a degree of uncertainty in matters of spirituality, matters of halacha. Yitzhara is working full force. Be careful, preempt Yitzhara, achieve proper clarity, and then proceed with confidence. Okay, back to the Mishnah. We have Shitas Rabbi Elazar, who says, look, just facilitate a miyun, get the ktana out of the way, which will allow the yavam to perform yibum with the gdoila. Rabbi Gamliel says, no. We don't encourage miyun, even in this case, even though it's to enable the yibum. No. She does it on her own, fine. But otherwise, what we'll do? We'll let Reuven's wife, Rachel, grow up. In which case, her marriage gets upgraded to Min HaTorah. Now, Leah, the sister, leaves the scene. She's Achois Ish. Now, how does this happen? Does he have to perform another Kiddushin after 12 years old, or does that automatically upgrade and update? Rabbi Elazar Merav. Question asked to Rav. My time of the Rambam. What does it really mean that once she's a gdoila, everything's okay? Is it because the Kiddushin of Rachel while she was a ktana is sort of a pending Kiddushin? And when she grows up, Gadli Bahada, the Kiddushin sort of grows with her. It gets updated on its own. Once she becomes of age and she has das, she sort of accept that marriage and confirm that marriage. It happens retroactively. You don't need to make a new Kiddushin. Even though perhaps he didn't interact with her as married, there was no new Kiddushin done post Bas Mitzvah. Or perhaps, is it because he holds that when Reuven went and remarried, made a new Kiddushin with his Ktana turned Gdoila, who is the sister of Leah the Yevama, Niftara Yevama Valchala, the Yevama becomes Pater, she leaves the scene, but only because Reuven did another Kiddushin with Rachel, his wife. Only if he actually did Baal, he did Bia, he did a Kiddush. Amalesi, he says, you don't have to do a new Kiddushin. Sorry, he do have to do a new Kiddushin. Ramamliel holds Mishum Kasavar. Hamekalesh Achis Yevama, Niftara Yevama, Valchala. When Reuven and Rachel grow up, Reuven can do a new Kiddushin with Rachel, and by doing so, he sort of shoos away the sister, the Yevama, Leah, and she becomes Pater. Even though the truth is, she was a Yevama before. Her Yevama status preceded this most recent Kiddushin with Rachel. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Rashi in the Mishnah said that Rabbi Gamliel actually holds Ein Zika, right? If you remember that, meaning the fact that Leah, the Yevama. Let's go back to the case. We had Reuven and Rachel, who was the Luktana, and Shimon and Leah, who was a Gdola. Rachel and Leah were sisters. Shimon passed away, leaving Leah behind as the Yevama. Yevama in Torah bound to Reuven. Problem is Reuven was married to her sister Rachel, but she's only a Ketana with the Rabbanon. So Rabbi Gamliel says, this is Rashi in the Mishnah explains this, that even though Leah is a Yevama and she's bound to Reuven, that being bound, that potential Yibum doesn't affect Reuven's relationship, Reuven's marriage with Rachel, even though it's just a Ketana marriage, it doesn't matter. Ein Zika, it doesn't have that effect. So Reuven could stay on married with Rachel, and as soon as she grows up and Reuven sort of redoes that ceremony, redoes a Kedushin with Rachel, now it's a proper, solidified, established marriage min HaTorah. Niftara, Yevama, Valchala. Leah now can leave the saint. She's Pata, she's Achayis Isha of Reuven. Ibal, but only because Reuven did a new Baal, he remarried Rachel, Eloi by Eloi, but without doing a new one, he doesn't have the same halach. So according to Rav, the Kedushin done with a Ketana, while she's a Ketana, cannot just automatically update itself. You have to revisit that Kedushin once she becomes a Gdola. Amar Rav Sheshes, he disagrees. Amina, I figured, Ki Naim, B'shachiv Rav. When Rav was sort of sleeping and dozing off, this is something unbefitting for Rav. I expected better from Rav. Well, he must have been sort of not in tune when he said this thing, Amala Shmaita. The sign, you look in the Brisa. HaMakadosh Zaktana. When one is Makadosh Zaktana, Kiddusha Teluin. Her Kiddushin is a pending Kiddushin. Now, what does that mean? My Teluin, Lav, should we not assume? Ki Godla, Godli Ba'ada. It means that it's pending. As soon as she grows up, the Kedushin gets updated on its own, without revisiting the Kedushin. V'avgav the loy ball, even without doing a new Kedushin. Amalei Rav, no. Amalei Rav, Breder of Nachman. That's not what the Brisa means. Perhaps the Brisa is saying, Ha'mil Sedek Mitla Talia. This whole relationship with the Ketana throughout her childhood is something pending. Mitla Talia V'kaim. It's not something confirmed and established. Why? Because until she becomes a Gdola and you revisit the Kedushin, you redo the Kedushin, you never know what's going to happen. Only if you redid the Kedushin once she becomes a Gdola, then we have a proper Kedushin. Otherwise, you never know. Because the Amra, all along the Ketana period, she says, look, Hu Odif Minayu. Manai, my husband has an advantage over me. Because all he needs to do is send me out with a get. At the same time, I also have a card against him. Vano adif nomine. I have something over him because I could just walk away from him. Bottom line is, the Kedushin of a Ketana is something shaky, something unknown and precarious. You have to wait until she becomes a Gdola, then you can revisit it, do a new Kedushin, and now you have a proper wife. And this is exactly how Rav looked at this halacha. Okay, so what did we learn today? We started with the Mishnah with those three cases of imach zegrushos. In the first and second case, the first and second marriages were of equal value. So what happened? Reuven was married to Rachel. Rachel was a Gdola. He divorced, remarried, and now he passed away. She's a Yevama, but she was formerly his divorcee. Tanakama says doesn't matter. She's right now a regular Yevama. We ignore that first marriage. Fact is, she's presenting as a Yevama due to her husband's death. Go ahead and be Mesiyabim to Shimon. Likewise in the second case, when Reuven was married to a Ketana, divorced her, retook her, same idea. Both marriages are of equal value. Yibum is a full option. Rabbi Yehuda says no, Yibum is not an option. And then we have the third case. We all agree it's not an option, where she was married to Reuven min HaTorah, divorced her, she became a Grusha min HaTorah, hey, we took her with the Rabbanan, all agree in this case, Shimon the brother cannot do Yibum because she's a Grusha of Reuven min HaTorah. Now, why would Rabbi Yehuda not allow Yibum in the first two cases? We have three pshatim in the Gemara, according to Rabbi Ashi, which was actually supported from a Brisa. Rabbi Yehuda says, look, we're always afraid about a third case, and therefore in all cases we don't allow Yibum. Regarding the Tzara, we're not sure. Okay, then we have the next Mishnah. Reuven and Shimon, two brothers, married to two sisters. So now, if both sisters were ketanis, they don't interfere because it's an achos isha. There's no yibum there. One is a ketana, one is a gdoila, and the husband of the gdoila passed away. She's a proper yevama. Now she's presenting to the other brother who's married to her sister, but it's only marriage to Rabban. We have three ways to deal with it. Eliezer says, just do me and get it out of the way, and do yibum to the gdoila. Rabban Gamliel says no. If she's not going to do yibum on her own, don't encourage it. The Gemara actually supports that as well. We're not really meant to encourage yibum. Wait till she grows up. And now Reuven and Rachel can have a proper marriage minat Torah. How does that happen? Well, we have two ways to learn. Rab says you have to redo the Kedushin. Rav Sheshes didn't seem to think so. He seemed to think that it happens automatically. In which case now Reuven and Rachel are married minat Torah, and Leah becomes pater on account of her being the achos isha of Reuven. Rabbi Yehuda takes a more stringent approach to the whole mission. He says, look, Eilel Ishtoi, Eilel Ishas Achiv. Reuven is stuck on both sides. He has to get rid of Rachel, she's the sister of his Yevamos. He has to get rid of Leah, she's the the sister of his wife. Trouble on all sides. Bar Kapara tells us there are three things a person should pursue and three things a person should run away from. What are the three good things? Chalitza, Yibum is risky, Hava Sholem, and get rid of any Nedarim. He should be misrachik from Mion. You never know, she might regret it later on. A pikadon in a case where he might be set up for false claims, and the arev as well, which could end up being over his head. Keep away from that. And we learned about the concept of learning Torah, lishma, lulmoid, lalamed, lishma, velases, which gets him the most out of his learning in this world and the next world. Hatzlacha Rabbah to all of us. I'm Surah Tavis.